If you're a new mom, you know that heading back to work can be quite overwhelming and very, very stressful. From finding a caregiver to getting back into the swing of things, there's so much to consider. So Alison Bernstein, editor of thebump.com, is here, and she has some tips on how to eliminate some of that back to work chaos that everyone has felt. Welcome, nice to have you here.
Thanks, nice to be here.
Yeah, and you actually know from your own experience.
I do, I've done it 3 times.
Does it get easier each time?
It really does.
Okay, it does. So the first time was the most difficult.
Absolutely. The first time is really jarring and you're not quite sure what to do. You haven't had a caregiver before in your home or brought your child to daycare. So it really is, you know, where you're really kind of earning your stripes as a parent.
Is there a lot of mommy guilt when you first have your baby and you're going back to work?
Definitely. For me, there was. And, you know, it was definitely something that I had to learn to overcome and know that my child was going to be okay. And once I established the rapport with my caregiver, I really felt much more comfortable.
Okay, so let's talk about that. What is the first step when you're planning your return?
The first step is really setting the date. So I think that a lot of women who are feeling anxious about going back to work might really try to avoid setting the date. But it's the opposite of what you should do. Try to start negotiating if there is wiggle room for how you're going to return to work. You might want to return a little bit earlier, but only do 1 or 2 days a week and kind of ease your way back into work. So see what the flexibility is and set the date, because everything moves from there.
That's a great idea, to try to do maybe just 1 or 2 days a week. I like that a lot, instead of just all of a sudden you're back 5 days a week. So let's talk about childcare. You mentioned building kind of a relationship with your caregiver. What other tips do you have for a new mom going through that?
So you have to trust your instinct and start to look at what is going to work for you and get that child care provider in as early as you can financially afford to, and really build your comfort level. If you have found a caregiver who comes with a lot of recommendations, if you found a daycare that really you feel comfortable with, trust your instinct, go with it, and don't hesitate.
Okay, do you recommend doing like a test run with the caregiver and also just, you know, with everything before the day comes?
Yes, because now you're getting ready for work time. Everything is going to be completely different. So bring in your caregiver. Use the time to get accustomed, to get your baby accustomed. If you're a nursing parent, there's a whole lot of preparation that goes into transitioning to work. You have to get your baby used to drinking a bottle, being fed from this caregiver. If you're going to bring them to a daycare provider, do it for a half day, ease into it, and use that time to get a haircut, to buy clothes that fit you, because you're probably going to be 1 to 2 sizes bigger, you know, if not more, before you had a baby. So you really need to use that time to ease into it and practice your morning routine, which is going to be totally different now.
So I have to ask this because I have a lot of friends with kids, and I know one of the hardest things about going back to work for them was the thought of being away from the baby all day long. After spending months with the baby, then being away from them for hours and hours and hours. How do we deal with this?
And this is a big concern. Moms on thebump.com always say, you know, how hard emotionally it is. So you really want to plan to manage your emotion. And it is about your individual personality. When I first went back to work, I actually had a do not talk to me about my baby zone for 2 weeks upon return, because I was just too fragile to discuss how much I missed her. But other moms really want to be surrounded with pictures, want to get text messages and photo updates from their nanny all day long or from the daycare center. And so, you know, it really depends. And find a support group. Find other moms to commiserate with who've been through this before.
You're not alone. You're really not, even though you feel like it.
You're not alone. And my boss at work was one of the best support systems for me, because she had done it a few years earlier.
Okay.
And her best piece of advice was, find someone you trust, find a situation that you feel comfortable in with your baby, and then trust that person to take care of them. Don't micromanage.
Okay, great advice. Thank you so much. I, of course, don't have kids, but I will use this advice when I eventually do have kids.
Thank
For
you.
all things baby, check out thebump.com. There are lots more tips there. Thank you so much
Thank
again.
you.
And now it's time to hear what you think from our daily question. Should new moms try to get back to work sooner rather than later? Call 1-855-6-BETTER and tell us what you think. You can find out if America shares your opinion or if they disagree by calling 1-855-623-8837 right now. You'll also get valuable offers, and you'll be entered to win some very exciting prizes, so you don't want to miss out. Call 1-855-6-BETTER right now.